The Houston Rockets and the Phoenix Suns played long and hard during the regular season, establishing the home court advantage. Well, you can throw it right out the window in this Western Conference semifinal. The Suns won 2 in the Summit, and the Rockets won 2 in the Desert. Now the series is tied, and Houston has the home court edge once again. Game 5 is next on Rockets Vision. Live from the Summit in Houston, Rockets Vision brings you the NBA playoffs. Tonight it's Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals, the Houston Rockets and the Phoenix Suns. Hi everybody, I'm Bill Worrell. Good to have you with us here on Rockets Vision for NBA playoff action tonight. And they talk about home sweet home, but that has not been the case for either one of these two teams. It has been a crazy series. The Phoenix Suns winning game 1 and 2 in Houston, and then having to go out to the desert, a chance for Phoenix to finish Houston off. Houston coming back to win game 3, and then on game 4, defeating the Phoenix Suns on Sunday, 107-96. So Calvin Murphy, the big question is, who has the advantage? Paul Westphal, playing mind games, is saying to his club, boy, aren't you glad you're going back to Houston?
That's very true. They've played here well throughout the year. And then, of course, they had that 2 big game series early that they won. So their confidence is not lacking here in this building.
Well, Hakeem Olajuwon has been the main man. He's leading the NBA playoffs in scoring. He's averaging about 13 rebounds a game. He's having clutch block shot defensive plays. And who can forget the big defensive block that he had on Charles Barkley in game 4?
Well, I know you're not surprised, Bill. He's done this time and time again.
Now that's a block first on Kevin Johnson that he had in the series. Blocked Barkley's a little later. And Hakeem has just been absolutely doing it all.
Well, Olajuwon knows that there's just a few more years that he has to get that ring. There's nothing that can be more complete for him other than the MVP than to have that ring. So right now he feels this is the time, not tomorrow.
Well, the question in Phoenix, Calvin Murphy, is what is wrong with Charles Barkley? In games 1 and 2, he was absolutely splendid. He was the old Charles Barkley. But in games 3 and 4, he's averaging only 18 points a game and 37% shooting. So what's happened?
Well, there's nothing about Charles Barkley that's happening. Let's give the Rockets some credit, the defense that they're playing against him. Otis Thorpe has done a nice job one-on-one, and they've been coming over, cutting off those angles to get him to the basket where he's gotten a lot of easy baskets over the past years against people.
Some people say that his back is hurting him. What do you think?
Well, you can be assured that there's something that's not right, but nevertheless, if you allow him to run free, bad back or not, he'll get his numbers. You got to keep pressure on him.
And of course, Kevin Johnson, boy, coming off a 38-game explosion, that ties his career playoff high. He's been just absolutely super. Look what he's done, points per game and assists per game. And what can you say about him?
Somebody better stop him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. He's just right now taking his game up to another level. And that dunk over Dream right there, of course, you know, Dream took a lot of ribbing for that. But Dream said, I never expected him to explode to the basket like that. That picture right there tells you what kind of a mindset he's in for this playoff.
Now, Kenny Smith has been chasing him, and he needs to get a little help. But I think what Kenny did was decided to answer back, and he retaliated for 21 points, including that big third quarter in Game 4. Kenny's getting the job done, too.
That's right, Bill. The way you beat an offensive player is to make him play defense, and what Kenny Smith is doing, he's just simply spotting up, allowing the ball to come to him, and he's not hesitating. He's taking that shot, and he's got a lot of confidence in it now.
All right, the backcourt of Maxwell and Kenny Smith has been getting a lot of help from the bench. And I thought in games 1 and 2, Ainge and A.C. Green and Joe Klein and Oliver Miller had the edge over Houston's bench. But in games 3 and 4, Mario Elie said, hey, I don't like this hand constraint anymore. He took it off, and look what the bench did in games 3 and 4, Calvin.
Well, what they've simply done is they come into the game and they change the game around. They don't come in and try to blend anymore. they play a different style, and they play the style that's comfortable to each one of them. Mario Ellie comes in, he goes to the basket. Sam Cassell comes in, he's aggressive off the ball. Then defensively, Sam is picking up full court, not allowing them to go north and south, but they got to do the perimeter play. And then they always have the backup of the big men stopping any penetration against them.
Sam has been absolutely phenomenal. When they've opened the court, he's been able to penetrate.
Well, you know what? He has that unorthodox stutter step or whatever it is going to the basket, and the defense has not quite gotten adjusted to it yet. I say keep going.
In games 1 and 2, they were able to pack it in on Elijah. In games 3 and 4, Rudy decided to spread the court, and he dusted off the pick and roll.
Yeah, he went back to the two-man game, but what Elijah's done now with the floor being spread and the confidence he has with his teammates, he's getting that ball out quicker. He's allowing them to have time to set and make that shot.
All right, how do you see game 5 going?
I see the Rockets by 9, and I say that because the Rockets are going to go out and set the tone early and make Phoenix have to make big shots in order to get ahead.
All right, that just about sets the stage for you tonight. Game 5, players on both sides are agreeing on one thing. This is the biggest game of the series. It is now down to a best 2 out of 3. If the Rockets win here tonight, they're going to have a big edge over the Phoenix Suns. And we'll be back with a tip-off in just a moment on Rockets Vision. Rockets Vision, Houston Rockets playoff basketball on Special Order Sports is brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. For that deep down body thirst, nothing works better than Gatorade. And by the Discover Card. It pays to discover the card that pays you back. Hi again, everybody, and we welcome you back to the Summit in Houston, Texas. Game 5 of the best of 7 Western Conference semifinals. Moments away from starting here tonight as the Houston Rockets go against the Phoenix Suns. Mario Ellie trying to play with that broken hand, and they inserted some screws in that hand. You'll remember when he broke it back in Los Angeles about a month ago. They operated in LA, and he had to wear a hand protection device. He threw that off after game 2. He said, I can't dribble, I can't shoot, I can't really help this team unless I have my hand. And so what he did was have the doctor take it off. The doctor said it would be okay, that he couldn't sustain any worse damage to it, even without the brace. And he's been a new man, hasn't he, Cal?
Yeah, well, what he simply's done, he stopped worrying about the negative and swung to the positive, and whatever happens, happens. So he's thrown caution to the wind, and he's playing his game again.
And what has happened now is he's able to come in and diffuse the small lineup that Paul Westphal likes to use, and that's mainly Danny Ainge, who comes off that bench and gives them a 3-guard lineup. They were very effective in games 1 and 2, but not so in games 3 and 4. Now, today the NBA announced that Ainge has been fined $5,000 for throwing the basketball deliberately into the face of Mario Ellie at the tail end of game number 3.
Well, films don't lie, Bill, and we all saw it. I was very surprised that Danny Ainge would resort to some kind of tactic like that. That's the kind of things that creates riots.
Of course, that doesn't surprise a lot of Rockets fans who remember Bad Boy Ainge from his Boston Celtics days. And we would be remiss tonight if we didn't talk about Chris Gent, who has had a couple of minutes in game 3 and a couple of minutes in game 4, but they were very good minutes in that in game 3, he was able to help that group for the Houston Rockets to kind of get back into the game.
Yes, he did. Now, he's a utility man. They don't have him coming into the game to do any one certain thing. He just doesn't want to lose ground while he's out there on the floor playing.
All right, let's go to our public address announcer, Matt Thomas, for the starting lineups.
First for the Phoenix Suns, at guard, 6'1" from California, number 7, Kevin Johnson. The other guard is 6'6" from Central Michigan, number 9, Dan Marley. At 1 forward, 6'6" from Auburn, number 34, Charles Barkley. The other forward is 6'7" from Cal State Fullerton, number 23, Cedric Sabalas. And the center is 6'10" from Old Dominion, number 41, Mark West. Head coach of the Suns is Paul Westphal. His assistants are Lionel Hollins and Scotty Robertson. The trainer, Joe Prosky. Warren Moon.
Let's get ready to rumble! Please help me introduce the next NBA World Champion, our Houston Rockets!
And guard 6'4" from Florida, number 11, Vernon Maxwell. The other guard is 6'3" from North Carolina, number 30, Kenny Smith. And one forward, 6'10" from Alabama, number 25, Robert Ory. The other forward is 6'10" from Providence, number 33, O.G. Ladislow. And the center is 7 feet tall from the University of Houston, the NBA Defensive Player of the Year, Hakeem Olajuwon. Your Rockets are coached by Rudy Tomjanovich. His assistants are Carol Dawson, Bill Berry, Larry Schmidt. The trainer is Ray Fiore. Tonight's officials, as assigned by the National Basketball Association, Hugh Evans, Jack Neese, and Joe Forte.
Well, Rudy T, in his third season as head coach, 129 regular season wins for 66%. What a great job he did holding this team together after the disappointing loss in Game 2. And he became not only a coach, but a psychologist, as he was able to talk to each and every one of the players individually and then together as a team. And he held this team together out in the desert. And they came back to win games 3 and 4. Now they'd like to get one tonight on the home court. Paul Westphal, probably just as accomplished a coach as anybody in the league. 5-2 in the playoffs this season. 18-13 all time for Westphal. He had 56 wins for his Phoenix Suns this season. He has won over 118 regular season games. There's Paul. And Paul said he was happy. He was using some psychology of his own. He said, I'm happy we're coming back to Houston. That seems to be our home court in this series. Trying to convince the players of that is another thing. Hakeem Olajuwon, the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year, NBA First Team, and soon to be the NBA's Most Valuable Player. He certainly has been the MVP in this series. The Rockets have lost the 5th game of a playoff series only once here at the Summit, while winning 5 times. Overall, Houston is 9-5 in the 5th game of a playoff series. And Charles Barkley trying to find a little of that old magic. He had it in games 1 and 2. In fact, he's had it this entire playoff series. Remember that huge 58-point performance against the Golden State Warriors in the first round. Well, here we go. West jumping center with Olajuwon. And Hakeem gets it. Quickly. Robert Ory takes it to the basket for 2. KJ on the offense. Cedric Sabalas has had some good starts in some games. Hasn't been in there at the end. There's Barkley taking it in on Hakeem. Misses the shot. Tipped around again. Kenny Smith in the open court. Rockets want to run. They got a 4-on-2. Vernon right down to Olajuwon. Has it slapped away by Marley. And a foul called on Dan Marley.
Well, now the Rockets right now have got their intensity level very high. That first jump ball going in for that layup. What they've got to do, they've got to sustain right now. They've got to be smart. They've got to get their shot selection early working for them and take it from there.
There was no foul on Marley. He just knocked the ball out of bounds. Olajuwon over West from the outside, and the Rockets have struck first with the first 2 baskets of the game. KJ on the outside. Sabalas will pop outside and shoot it over Robert Ory. He misses, and Olajuwon clears it out to Vernon Maxwell. Max on the run. Max pulls up and fires. And the Rockets Rockets have hit their first 3 shots of the game. This place is going bananas.
Yeah, but I like where they got their shots from, Bill. They got it 15 feet and in, and they did it from the opportunity baskets, coming off that floor, coming up the floor, off the rebound.
Barkley and Otis Thorpe on the outside. Barkley takes it to the right, passes off Sabalas in heavy traffic, has it almost blocked, and West comes up with the rebound. Marley with a three-pointer, way too long. Otis Thorpe has the rebound. Here come the Rockets with a 4-on-2 advantage. Kenny Smith back to Otis, back to Olajuwon. He's trapped underneath. Otis over to Kenny Smith. Three-pointer! And the Phoenix Suns call a timeout. Listen to the summit. The Rockets have scored the first 9 points of the game. Well, Calvin, look at this ball movement to get it back out to Kenny
Boy,
Smith.
I tell you, that ball must be awful hot because they didn't keep it in their hands no time. And Kenny Smith wasted no time getting it out of his by hitting this 3-point jump shot.
Kenny Smith, in his career, is the 9th best 3-point shooter of all time in NBA playoffs. And Maxwell right on with the 2. But Kenny Smith in this series now is over 50% from behind the line. In the 3-point department, Kenny Smith is now 16 of 31 for 52%, and that makes him number 7 best in the NBA playoffs this season. And Robert Horry is 14 of 30. Well, you can look at this one or two ways. You're happy for Houston to get off to a good start, but here at home, they've been off to 2 good starts before.
Bill, I was ready to say it's frightening me a little from the beginning, but you know what they've done, though? They've simply come out and they're sending a message that they're ready to play basketball.
Well, they used to say years ago, the time to relax is when you're under the most pressure. And the Rockets don't look nearly as tense as the Phoenix Suns do, at least here in the first couple of minutes.
Well, you got to understand, the Rockets understand that regardless of the outcome, obviously they feel they want to win and they can win, but if they don't, by some stretch of the imagination, they've proven what they can do on the road. So this is not a do-or-die situation to them.
Well, I can't recall a regular season game where the Rockets got off to this good of a start. They've hit their first 4 shots. By the way, in case you're interested, the officials tonight are Hugh Evans, Joe Forte, and Jack Neese. Neese, Forte, and Evans, the officials for this contest, and they haven't really had anything to whistle here early. And Rudy T has got to feel pretty good about the first minute and a half. This crowd didn't need a lot of encouragement, but boy, this start by Houston has gotten them into the game early. Clutch City, and you've got to agree with that. Well, AC Green has already come to the scorer's table, and he has checked into the game for Cedric Sabalas, so they're going big with Green, right?
Yeah, what they're hoping for with Green is a little more rebounding strength around that basket, maybe a couple of offensive boards to get themselves on that scoreboard.
KJ jumps behind the pick and scores again, and what's new? He's averaging 48% in the playoff series against Houston. He's scoring about 32 points a game.
Yeah, well, Kenny doesn't want to go behind that pick. He's going to have to fight over it.
Otis Thorpe laid it up, got it back. Robert Horry thought about it, got AC out on him. Olajuwon will work on West, leans inside, draws the foul, and makes the basket.
Now, when you talk about shake, rattle, and roll, that's what I just saw in Olajuwon's body movement. Let's take a look at it. All right, he just simply gets himself close enough to the basket. Ooh!
Oh, my.
Oh, my goodness. Something must have been on his shoulder he was trying to get rid of, Bill.
He got rid of it. It was Mark West. 3-point play for the Dream, and it's 12-2. The Rockets with this early barrage of points. 9:40 left to play here in the first period. Barkley out at the top of the key. He'll shoot it over Otis for 2.
You know, regardless of what kind of slump he may be in, he still has a lot of confidence in his game.
Kenny Smith on the drive, back outside, Maxwell with a three. Look at that penetration, going from inside out.
And he didn't allow them to let him get trapped on that sideline. He made his move before they were able to form that trap.
15-4 Houston. Barkley again, same spot. Goes right, fires it up off balance.
Now there's what they brought.
And the basket counts by A.C. Green, and a foul is called.
Now a few seconds ago, we talked why A.C. Green was coming to the game, and here's the reason. They go to the offensive board, so now the Rockets are not going to be able to just run and jump. They're going to have to put a body on him and keep him away from that glass.
A.C. Green has been there with the Lakers 4 times to the NBA Finals, and he knows all about it.
Bill, my youngsters were here at 6 o'clock today to practice for the halftime show. He was here shooting.
Yep, having a good series. Down low to Olajuwon. Robert Horry looks over to Otis Thorpe. Almost lost it, gets it down to Otis, working on Barkley. Otis underneath, takes it up, draws the foul, and a very, very offensive-minded Otis Thorpe. And the foul is called on Mark West. That's his second foul already. So we'll see Oliver Miller in a hurry. Now, Cotton Fitzsimmons alluded to me in the pregame show that they were going to change up the way they've been playing Olajuwon with their centers. I don't know how much they can change, though, Cal.
Yeah, well, you know, we better check around their pants, see if they got any pockets, because in those pockets are going to be some handcuffs. That's the only thing there's left to do.
But I think Akeem's Houdini. He can get out of those handcuffs.
He's proved it to me.
Otis gets 1 out of 2. 16-7, Rockets lead it. Isolation for KJ. Now Barkley will come over. Robert Horry's on Barkley, knocks it away. Robert, one of the top steal men in the NBA playoffs. He's averaging about 2 a game. Barkley leans in, draws the foul, gets the basket. And Charles Barkley is back. You know, after game 4, they were talking about what's wrong with Barkley, and they asked Rudy Tomjanovich, and he said, I'd rather not rattle that cage.
Hey, let sleeping dogs lie. Let's take a look at Robert Horry. This is what he does well. He has quick hands, but there's nothing you can do against an individual like Barkley who knows how to get himself situated for a shot. So you want to go for quantity with him opposed to quality. So you make him take off-balance shots, make him have to get up enough jumpers to score his points.
Well, they missed the free throw. Barkley with 4 points. Here's Maxwell on the drive, and Barkley with a steal. Lost the ball out of bounds. Houston's ball. Charles fell down. He did a great job of getting back to steal the ball, and then he lost his balance. Did you see that grimace? Well, maybe that may have hurt his back a little bit. Huh?
No, it didn't like his back was hurting him the way he got down there and was able to anticipate that pass.
Olajuwon pops out to the free throw line. He'll shoot it over A.C. Green. Too hard. And A.C. with a rebound. KJ in the open court. 16-9. Rockets by 7. Barkley with a three-pointer. He missed it. And Kenny Smith with a rebound.
See, there's the quantity I was talking about.
Vernon throws it to Olajuwon. Great catch. A.C. gets it. And now Barkley steals it. Over to Dan Marley. Marley looking to Green underneath. He's stuck with Kenny Smith. Now KJ will shoot the 3 and miss. And Otis with a rebound. Quickly to Kenny Smith. Kenny waiting for Akeem. They triple team Akeem because nobody else is down the court. Now Robert Horry comes in to help. Nice pass to Otis. Otis lays it up for 2.
Oh, now Robert Horry saw the floor very well. The defense was watching him put the ball between his legs. He saw Otis Thorpe going to the basket. A nice little pass over the shoulder to defense and scores.
KJ misses. Marley with a long rebound. Tough luck. Houston was going in for the rebound. The ball came out. Barkley baseline wide open.
Well, so much for my back hurts.
He looks ready tonight. He's 3 for 6 from the field. He's got 6 of the 11 points scored by the Suns. The thing Phoenix has to do is try to withstand this furious start by Houston. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Down to 6 seconds on the shot clock. Picked by Otis. Kenny Smith drives it in, throws it outside. It's going to be a 24-second violation on the Rockets.
And that's unfortunate. Kenny did a nice job getting inside, but if he had taken a look at the basket, he'd have saw how close he was to making that layup with Olajuwon coming to the boards for the offensive tip.
You know, if you're going to get down early, it's best to do it early in a game.
That's right.
And Phoenix now feels like down by 7. They've got to feel very fortunate after that early run by Houston. KJ in the lane, back outside, AC Green to Marley. 8 on the shot clock. Marley takes it to the middle. Maxwell, beautiful defense, air ball, Houston's ball. Can't play defense better than that.
Marley thought that Vernon was going to block it. He short-armed it.
Westphal thought that it either was blocked or there was a foul on the play for it to come up short. Kenny Smith guarded by Marley. Otis out high. Maxwell works the baseline. Comes off the pick, firing away. A little off balance. Ball is loose. Olajuwon has it. Now Robert Horry has it. Oh, Robert threw it away. And the ball is contested for, and Marley comes away with it. Now Barkley. Barkley gets around Horry and takes it to the hole, and he's fouled by Olajuwon. What a move by Charles Barkley.
Well, what they're saying is Olajuwon didn't get there in time to set himself, Bill. Let's take a look now. Barkley does a nice job. He gets around Robert. Yeah, that's what they call him. Plus, he was so close underneath the rim that if he was a couple steps out further, that might have gone in the Rockets' favor.
Well, the Phoenix Suns now have withstood that early furious rally by Houston. And this free throw by Barkley could get them within 4 points. He has 8 of the 13 points scored by the Phoenix Suns. Well, he misses badly, and Otis Thorpe with a one-handed rebound. So he's missed both free throws.
Yeah, that was an ugly shot. That ball was stuck to his fingers.
Smith looking for Olajuwon. Oliver Miller right on his backside. Keem throws it away. Good, right to Barkley. Up ahead to AC Green. AC runs over Maxwell. Charging on AC Green.
Vernon Maxwell did a nice job getting back on the rotation and stop that break, but Kenny Smith did another nice job hustling back to support. Now Vernon gets down, he holds his ground. Olajuwon gets over to try to block it, and Kenny Smith stopped him from being able to kick that ball over to the sideline to any player coming in that direction. Now Vernon needs to use his speed to get inside on some penetration now.
Pass inside to Otis Thorpe for 2. Otis really making Barkley work on the other end. That's something that they haven't been able to get Barkley to do. The other teams make him play defense. And he's having to try to do that now. Otis a little more offensive-minded. KJ back on the outside now. Marley has it. Looking for the pass from AC, and it was knocked out of bounds. 9 seconds on the shot clock for the Phoenix Suns. It's Houston 20 and Phoenix 13 with 4:35 left to play in the first quarter. Barkley with that little step back. He misses. Ball tipped away into the hands of Maxwell. Max to Kenny Smith. Kenny with a left hand for 2. Beautiful drive by Kenny Smith. He switched hands. 22-13. Rockets lead is 9 again. Everybody with 5 points for Houston except Horry, who has 2. Marley inside over Olajuwon. He just looked at him, made him change his shot quickly to Maxwell. He's got to beat Marley. Max lays it off the glass, missed it, tipped up in the air. Maxwell has it again. Back outside, Kenny Smith with a 3.
Oh, nice play by Vernon Maxwell. Hustling to get the offensive boards. He gave them a little step, froze the defense, kicked it back out to Kenny. Kenny flawlessly put that ball back from the three-point range into the basket.
Olajuwon with a rebound. Kenny Smith, cross-court pass, Vernon Maxwell! Phoenix Phoenix calls a timeout. They're going crazy in the Summit. Well, we have talked about the Rockets' offense, which has been considerable, but look at the Suns with only 13 points. And outside of KJ and Barkley, nobody else is even getting a shot for Phoenix. But Kenny Smith, again tonight, 3 of 3 from the field, Calvin, including a couple of long-range bombs. But look at this little switcheroonie.
Yeah, well, what the Rockets are just doing, they're putting so much pressure on the defense when they miss to get back and play transition defense that the Rockets are able to get whatever they want. Now, Kenny Smith is sitting right now on the three-point line. Vernon Maxwell saw him as he was hustling to get the ball, and Kenny finishes off the play. You know, it's a good thing I read lips, Bill, because I couldn't hear a thing after that explosion by the crowd here in the Summit.
Well, I think they broke the sonic boom. The sound barrier was broken on that last basket by Vernon Maxwell. This place went absolutely nuts. This is about as loud as I've ever heard it in here in the Summit, and that goes back to the '86 season in the NBA Finals. The Rockets are just running when they get it, slowing it down when they need to, and they're just doing everything perfectly.
Well, they're playing defense and they're rebounding.
And in the last 2 minutes, Houston has outscored Phoenix 9-0. Remember a moment ago, Barkley was at the line. It was 18-13. He had a chance to get Phoenix within 4, and since that time, the Rockets have run off 9 points in a row. You like that three-point shooting, though?
Boy, that puts a smile on my lips.
Well, Barkley, 4 for 8. He has 8 points. KJ has 2. AC Green has 3, and that's it for the Phoenix Suns. My ultimate highlight for MVP? Yeah, I guess so.
You know, I appreciate the enthusiasm and the fan participation, but the color of them faces makes me nervous in an alley.
Well, Robert Horry with 2 points, Otis Thorpe with 5, Olajuwon with 5, Maxwell with 7, and Kenny Smith with 8. Danny Ainge has checked into the game for Phoenix, and that will draw a round of boos from this crowd. If you're joining us just late, Ainge was fined $5,000 today by the NBA for throwing the basketball into the face of Mario Elie at the tail end of Game 3.
Deliberately.
All right, now Oliver Miller has it. Goes to Barkley again. Barkley over Otis Thorpe.
Charles Barkley.
So what you do with Charles, you try to guard him one-on-one some, then you run somebody at him occasionally, but you've got to keep it mixed up. Maxwell gets by KJ. Reversal for 2, and he's fouled. Oh, what a move.
KJ's checking his sneakers. He got the figure eight nailed to the floor. Now, I said it's time for Vernon to use that blinding speed of his to penetrate some. I like the fact that his hearing aid is working, because you heard what I said.
KJ better check something else, too. He left that on the floor.
Oh, my goodness. Are we talking about the...
No,
yes.
Yeah. Rockets with a 15-point lead. 2:52 left to play in the first quarter. AC Green looking to Oliver Miller. First time they've gone into Miller. Backing up Olajuwon with a steal. Ball is loose. Kenny Smith has it. Kenny Smith to Maxwell. Maxwell back over to Robert Horry. Kenny will set it up and wait for Olajuwon. Smart move.
Very intelligent.
Otis takes it to the middle. Little jump shot won't go. Danny Ainge will bring it up. They never liked him when he was with the Celtics green. They don't like him any better in the purple.
The man everybody loves to hate.
Eddie Haskell. Barkley off to Miller for 2.
Oliver Miller assists Charles Barkley.
Now, that's what you can't allow to happen. Now, Barkley is going to beat you over the top. You can deal with it. But if he can beat you over the top and then get inside and get his teammates involved, now the defense is starting to slack up.
Kenny Smith to Otis Thorpe. Barkley thought about stealing it for a minute. Now Maxwell's working the baseline on the picks. KJ goes for the steal, and a foul on KJ. Maxwell did a great job of positioning himself, and he's hurt. I don't know why KJ's arguing so much.
That was a clip.
And Max went down hard. He doesn't know what to protect. He's playing on 2 sore ankles, a sore wrist, and 2 sore hands.
Now let's see. KJ goes for. No, what can we do? There's no way he can complain that he's lucky Maxwell didn't get hurt.
That's the 4th team foul on the Suns. The Rockets have 3. Olajuwon comes out. He'll square up against Miller. Takes it to the middle, fires it over Oliver Miller, missed it. Robert Horry goes for the ball, knocks it out of bounds.
Rocket substitution, number 17.
And now Mario Ellie will come into the game, and Vernon will get a rest. He's holding his left wrist, and Ray Melchiori will look at him. I don't know if there's anything left to tape on Vernon Maxwell. That's the one area that he hasn't hurt. Was that the one he hurt last year? I think it was.
Yes, it was. In the Seattle game.
The one he broke. The left wrist. Ainge, bounce pass off to Barkley, fires it up close range. And here come the Suns now. They're on a little run. And it's 30-19. Well, Hugh Evans did ask for help, and the ball was knocked away from Olajuwon. Hugh says it was off of Akeem, so Phoenix will get the turnover.
Yeah, well, if it's going to go against the Rockets, it's going to go anytime that call is made.
That's the 5th turnover for Houston, 3 turnovers for Phoenix. 11-point lead for Houston. Barkley with the ball. The illegal defense is called on Robert Horry. And that's the first illegal D call in this game.
Violation results in a technical foul. It's Suns ball.
Ainge will bring it in for Phoenix. 54 seconds left to play in the first period. Barkley gets Thorpe in the air, and I think Horry may have touched that ball, and Kenny Smith has it. I think Robert Horry gets a block. Kenny Smith will bring it up. Rockets will go 2 for 1. Back outside, Robert Horry with a 3.5.
Yeah, he was just 1 foot outside his range.
Barkley and Thorpe again. 25 seconds left in the quarter. Barkley off balance, and it goes. And Barkley now with 12 points for the Phoenix Suns, and it's 30-21. 14 points for Barkley. And the Rockets will go for the final shot. There you see the time remaining in the quarter. Kenny Smith on the drive, lays it up for 2.
Oh, nice elevation.
6 seconds left. Barkley bumps off Thorpe, shoots a 3, way too long. Mario Ellie with the rebound, and that's the end of the first quarter, and what a quarter it was. The Houston Rockets shooting 65% from the field, and they lead after the first 12 minutes, 32-21. Houston Rockets shooting 65% in that first quarter and lead by 11. Let's check out the game summary. Charles Barkley with 14 points for Phoenix in the first quarter. Maxwell and Smith with 10 apiece. Phoenix shooting 42% and Houston 65%. The Rockets 3 of 4 from behind the three-point line.
Well, what you got to be concerned about right now is what can you do to keep the Phoenix Suns defense off balance. And what Maxwell's doing is he's mixing it up. Early he started by hitting a few jumpers. Now he's taking it inside, creating himself some opportunities to get some layups and create perhaps some fouls on their guards. Well, what do you say about Barkley except that he comes to the occasion? And what he does is moves and he scores and he gets on people's nerves.
Well, I think the important thing, too, about this quarter now, Calvin, is that Houston has now outscored Phoenix in 8 straight quarters. That means after the first quarter in Game 7, it's been all Houston. In Game 3, it's been all Houston the rest of the way. The Rockets had a couple of 9-0 runs in the first quarter. But Barkley has taken 13 of the 24 shots by Phoenix. KJ is only 1 for 4 for 2 points. Sam Cassell has checked in now, so it'll be Cassell, Kenny Smith, Mario Elie, Carl Herrera, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Herrera now will be entrusted with the job of trying to stay with Barkley as well as he can. And for the first time since late in the last game, Game 4, Elliot Perry has checked in. I think Paul Westphal is looking for a little more quickness here, right?
Yeah, he's going to match speed with speed. You're right. And this little fella is a speed merchant.
Trying to get back into the game with the speed. Sabalas is back in there also. Barkley looking down to West. Knocked away by Hakeem, out of bounds. Sometimes a guy will like to go with a quicker lineup to see if he can race back into the game while he's resting some of his regulars. 3 seconds on the shot clock. And
they would rather use speed opposed to the outside bomb.
Perry has to shoot it over Hakeem. Hakeem blocked it, and that's a 24-second violation.
And that's a $50 advance to the Texas Youth Academy from Whataburger by Olajuwon also, Bill. Thought I was going to miss that, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I knew you would. I hear it in my sleep. You've made a ton of money.
Yeah, Olajuwon has been very kind to those youngsters with his block shots.
Now, Perry's going to press, too, isn't he?
Well, what he's going to simply do is change the game up. He's going to change the game up defensively. He's left-handed, so you got to be very protective of that ball on the opposite side.
Kenny Smith wide open. That was too close in. Kenny needs to get behind the three-point line, I guess. That's the first shot he has missed. Of course, when Perry's in there, KJ isn't. Sabalas on the perimeter to Ainge. 8 on the shot clock. Ainge trying to lean in, throws it up with the left hand. That was just a prayer. And it's knocked out of bounds by Hakeem. Of course, he had West all over his back along with Sabalas.
I tell you, Sam Cassell played that defensively against that left-handed shot by not allowing himself to get caught in the air because Ainge was trying to create a foul.
Elliot Perry from the outside. They're going to let him shoot. Elie has it knocked away. Sabalas puts it up, and he was out of bounds. He came in, did not reestablish himself, so it's Houston's ball. Smith. Perry on Cassell. So Kenny takes it right down to Olajuwon, turns baseline 3.
That's a nice play. They were looking for that ball to come from the sideline, passed in from the forward. Kenny dropped it right in, didn't give West a chance to get set. Olajuwon finished it off.
Sabalas drives it inside, right into the waiting arms of Olajuwon, and he steals it again. Cassell will stop. Will pop.
Yeah, the only problem with that shot is he had Olajuwon parallel to him, so Olajuwon didn't get the ball or the rebound. Yeah. Put the big man down low or give the ball to Olajuwon. You go through, spread the floor, and let Olajuwon work.
Barkley gets a double team. Ainge picked up by Cassell. There's almost a knockaway by Herrera. Barkley puts up a 3. Fast break Houston. Smith to Elie. Drops it off to Sam. Kenny Smith will wait for Olajuwon to post up. Elie with the entry pass. And the ball stolen. And a foul on Kenny Smith. Boy, Ainge had a whole bunch of Olajuwon's arm on that play. And a timeout on the court with 9:28 left to play in the second quarter. The Rockets leading it by 13 points. Watch and see what happens on this, because Olajuwon doesn't lose the ball very often with those sure hands of his. Let's see how much they fouled him.
Yeah, no, they fouled him, so we want to know how much. Oh, my goodness.
He's got his whole fist wrapped around Olajuwon's wrist. Man.
I'm beckoning to the referee again, Bill, and the last time I beckoned to a referee, I got in trouble.
Yeah, don't do it. Houston has the lead. There's no sense to go crazy here. But Calvin, a lot of times the referees will not call that because it's really not close to the action. It's not leading directly to a basket.
Well,
but still, it creates a turnover, doesn't it?
They missed it, period. That was blatant right there. He didn't go to try to steal the ball. He went there to dislodge his hand from the ball and got away with it. Did you know what, Bill? When I played so often, everything is happening so quick in a bunch. And if I had the ball, I'm moving my arm so much that it's very difficult for a referee to see the snatching and grabbing.
Well, we were familiar with that position for the great Larry Bird in the end of his career, because that's where he spent a lot of time over there resting his back.
That's right.
Now, Charles has a disc problem, as you know. He hurt it in the preseason. Then he had a knee problem. It forced him to miss 17 games. But he says he's going to retire because he can't stand the pain in the back. And I don't know. He doesn't want an operation. He says he will refuse to have it operated on.
Well, at his stage of the career right now, you know, if he does have an operation, I think he's worried about how long it's going to take him to get the mobility back. And I'm sure he doesn't want to waste a year of speculation.
Well, now, on the other side of the coin, they ask Hakeem Olajuwon about it, and he says, hey, I'm going to play as long as I'm healthy. I enjoy the game of basketball, and as long as I'm productive, I will play. Boy, that's music to my ears.
Hey, to my academy, too. But you know what, though? He's just starting to understand and love the game, Bill. You know, how long has he been playing now? You saw him play his first game here?
Yeah, I saw him play when he got out of the taxi cab at the University of Houston over 12 years ago. Actually, it's been 14 years.
That's not a relatively a lot of time to play this game.
You're right. He's learning to appreciate the game and the beauty of basketball and how much he contributes. Okay, KJ back into the game now. Cassell will guard him. Ainge comes off a pick. Olajuwon picks him up. AC Green from outside misses. Carl Herrera with a rebound, gives it up to Vernon. So Vernon looks to be okay. That's good news. Herrera's wide open, takes it in for the jump hook.
Almost scared him. He turned around and didn't see anybody. He thought the game was over.
Almost scared me. And the Rockets lead by 15. 8:56 left to play in the second. KJ off a pick, shoots the outside shot. Now, Phoenix having to shoot the outside shot. There's no penetration whatsoever.
Well, they're packing it in, and they're keeping KJ on one side of the floor.
Mario Elie on the drive, and he's fouled. He'll shoot two. So the Rockets are driving to the basket, and the Phoenix Suns are having to pull up and shoot the jumper.
And that's Mark West's third foul, Bill. Now, Mario does a nice job getting inside by simply